What's going on, everybody? Supernova796 here, and welcome to another top 10 video. Last week we talked about top 10 ice type Pokemon because it's ungodly cold. So this week we started a bit of a new trend. This week we are talking about our top 10 Gen 1 Pokemon. And I'm going to do Gen 1 until we get all the way to Gen 7. And I may add Sun Ultra Moon into Gen 7, not really sure how I feel about, because we didn't really get a bunch of new Pokemon. I don't know, that's for future enough. I don't envy that guy. But this week we're starting with Gen 1, next week we'll be doing Gen 2, so on and so forth. So for right now, without any further ado, let's get right into the top 10 list. Number 10 on the list is Charizard. You cannot have a top Gen 1 Pokemon list without having this Pokemon. I mean, look at him. First of all, his Mega, both of his Megas actually, are incredibly designed. The Pokemon itself is super cool. I mean, me personally, whenever I pick Gen 1 starters, I always go for Charmander. It's the one I like the best, and Charizard's the one I like the best of the three starters. So, of course, it's going to be number 10. Not my most favorite Gen 1 Pokemon. That's drastically out of the water, what everyone says. Hey, what's your favorite Pokemon? Charizard? Oh, of course it is. Number 9 is Pidgeot. I really like the Route 1 birds. Pidgeot, Swellow, we don't talk about Unpheasant, Noctowl, I love them. So of course Pidgeot is no exception, is on my list. I also really like him because of his role in the anime. A lot of times Ash will release his Pokemon. Sometimes for good, sometimes for the wrong reason. I think Pidgeot being released was for a really good reason. Mainly being because it evolved. It was one of the strongest Pokemon that Ash could obtain. Actually, that's a lie, because Pidgeot evolved to level 36, and it didn't evolve until the end of the series. I need to evaluate my life decisions. But it evolved and immediately flew a flock of Pidgey and Pidgeotto to safety. I can't remember the full episode of what the danger was, but I just know that it became the leader of a flock of birds and flew him to safety. Pidgeot also hits like a truck. His design's cool. His Mega could stand to be a little bit more, how do I say this, original, because it just seems like a Pidgeot with a bigger mane, but I still like it all the same. At number 8, we have Urbach. Urbach is one of my favorite Pokemon because I really like this snake Pokemon in the Pokemon franchise. Urbach, Seviper. I don't know if you count Zygarde as a snake or a slug. I'm going to count him as a slug. Anyway, Urbach is one of my favorite Gen 1 Pokemon. It looks cool. It has a different design on its crest in every game, which I think is really incredible. I think it has like somewhere around 10 different patterns, depending on which game you get it from. It has 10 different patterns. It's iconic, especially for Team Rocket. It's just, whenever you think of Snake Pokemon and the Pokemon franchise, I always immediately turn to Urbach. Our next Pokemon on this list is Marowak. Marowak is one of my favorite Pokemon because of the backstory of it. Cubone's story is sad in itself, but it's not there without Marowak. Marowak is of course Cubone's mother or father, I don't discriminate, but it died protecting its child against Team Rocket, according to the story, I think. Plus in Gen 1 it becomes this eerie ghost that your Pokemon don't want to attack, you can't catch, and you have to be able to get a certain device to see it. And it's just a cool Pokemon in my opinion. It really shows Cubone evolving into Marowak very well with the skull becoming its actual head. It's a really cool Pokemon. I love the backstory of it. I think it's really eerie and really creepy, which is what I love. Number 6 on this list is Nidoking. I've always loved the Nido line, both male and female. Nidoking is one of my favorites because he just looks awesome. He hits hard. He's kind of bulky, not really. Nidoqueen really takes up the bulk. But Nidoqueen, yes, genders. But Nidoking hits like a truck. He looks super cool. I remember using him in my second playthrough of Soul Silver, and it was incredible to use. I adore this Pokemon. Number 5 on this list is Gengar. You cannot have a top 10 list without having one of the original ghost type Pokemon. In Gen 1 there was only 3 ghost types, Ghastly, Haunter, Gengar, all of which are the evolution line. This Pokemon was unique. This Pokemon was something that everyone wanted to have because it was the only one that was fully evolved. You could have a Ghastly, you could have a Haunter, but they're not the strongest. Gengar was the strongest at the time. Sure, it didn't have ability like Levitate. Sure, I don't even think, was Dual Type anything first gem? I don't know, I haven't played it enough to figure that out. But it didn't have Levitate. It didn't have hardly any Ghost type moves. In fact, Dark type wasn't even a thing, so the only thing that could really touch it was Ground and Psychic. But he's also super tanky, And if memory serves me right, everyone was complaining about how broken he was in first Gen 2. Maybe that was Alakazam. I don't know, I haven't played enough to care. Number 4 on my list is Haunter. Now yes, I know number 5 was Gengar, but I like Haunter more than Gengar in terms of design-wise. Also, his role in the anime was actually not really that important, but it was more comedic relief. Haunter showed that he could be skilled, he could be funny. He won a battle solely by making someone laugh. I don't know how you can top that. He didn't even have to attack. He just lit a bomb, blew it up, and won. That's all I can say about Haunter. His design, in my opinion, is much cooler than Gengar's, but he's only got the hands. You can still tell he's from Ghastly because of the face, but he's got more of a body to him. I don't know, if I saw this thing out in real life, I would not know what to do. He is just that cool and that creepy. Number 3 on my list is Vaporeon. The reason Vaporeon is on this list is because Vaporeon is my favorite of the evolutions. Not only is it one of the original 3, but in my opinion, Vaporeon is the best design-wise, is the best move pull-wise, is the best stat-wise. Now I know Sylveon is, you know, more in the stat regions, considering it's a fairy type and all that. But I mean, you just look at this Vaporeon here and tell me you don't like it. Vaporeon is so cool. I love it. It might have something to do with those, me liking water and fish so much, hence me wanting to be a marine biologist when I was a kid. That's a story for a different day. But it's just, I love Vaporeon, I love its design, so of course it had to be in my top 3. At number 2, we have Ragga Night. Now, again, I say this a lot in this thing, about what you can and cannot have. But you cannot have a top 10 Gen 1 Pokemon list without the original Pseudo-Legend. In this Pokemon, the anime, it can hit like a truck. It can take many hits. It's one of the only Pokemon I've seen that can be both adorable and vicious, all at the same time. And the only thing I'm calling bullcrap on this Pokemon is in the first movie, when it's supposed to be able to like hit literally like a bullet train, and freaking, what's her name? Jessie? No, not Jessie. Yeah, it was Jessie. Jessie stopped it with a frying pan. Either Ragga Knight's stats is not what it's supposed to be, or Jessie has biceps the size, I don't know, this thing? I don't know, I don't lift weights, obviously. And finally, at number 1, we have Mewtwo. Mewtwo is on this list as number 1 because A, is the first man-made Pokemon. Story-wise, oh no, he was like the last man-made Pokemon. No, he is the first man-made Pokemon. He should have stayed the first man-made Pokemon. He will always be number 1 of my books for it. He looks so cool, and his story is incredible. He was born, was confused about why he was so sad, so you know how he coped with it? He blew everyone up. He killed his creators. He went to Giovanni to learn to control his powers. You cannot tell me in his armor, he did not look incredible. Pokemon, if you're watching this, which I know you're not because you got better things to do, I want you to make an event Mewtwo where he's wearing that armor. Tell me that would not be a cool event. One time only event, he comes in his armor and he looks super dope. He looks creepy in his first gen sprite, still looks dope in his 7th and 6th gen sprite, and his shiny looks pretty good as well. That's going to cover my top 10 Gen 1 Pokemon. Next week we'll be covering Gen 2 Pokemon. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button, comment below what you think of the video, make sure to hit the subscribe button, helps the channel, helps you, helps me as a whole. I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.